As part of my work for Siren Conservation Education, I visited last year the beautiful and troubled land of Zimbabwe. There I joined Andy Loveridge, a Zimbabwean who is also a junior research fellow at Oxford University. Andy has been working with lions in Zimbabwe for 4 years. His work is based in Wangi National Park, which is 15,000 square kilometres, the size of Northern Ireland. The project aims to provide data to allow us to manage the hunted lion population in Wangi, such that they do not disappear forever. We were looking for Senege, a female lion who has been missing for a while.
Hello, Wellington.
That's old dirt road there, and then there's all these little pans in here.
Yeah.
And it's quite a dense bush, and there was a herd of buffalo. It's just in here. I'm sure she's around there somewhere.
So we just go along those pans and...
Yeah.
How likely is it that the lion will be in the same place you saw her this morning?
She won't be that far away. They don't move huge distances in the day. It's quite cool, so they might move a bit.
We haven't heard it yet, have we?
No, we haven't. Another thing. That's the problem with tracking from the ground.
Senege is 6 years old and lives with 3 other females in her pride. Some males had come in a few weeks earlier and killed cubs in that group. Andy wanted to check how the group were doing.
Have a look.
Why do you say it's a male?
Just from the size.
From the size, yeah.
Yeah, and also they're much broader. Females kind of have a more oval shape.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah. Well, actually, the female's kind of like that.
Right.
Probably about that size as well.
And how do you know it's old?
I would guess it's not. Just looking at the surface, it's just not crisp.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's been a bit windblown.
Okay.
But it's been that windy today, so it's probably at least a day old.
Leopard straw.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look how splayed out it is. It's totally different. Should we just have a quick look? Yeah, it's smaller and it's very wide, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just because of the sand. It's splayed its toes out.
Oh, is it? Okay.
If you look at that one, it's a bit more natural.
Is that a sort of classic sort of cat
Yeah.
print, only obviously a lot bigger?
Yeah.
Got any beeps, mister?
Nope.
No beeps. No beeps. So you have 23 lions in the 150 kilometre stretch of Wangi National Park, which are collared, and we're still looking for this female. Yeah. And we haven't picked up the sound.
Yeah.
But when we get within a certain distance of her, maybe up to 5 kilometres that can track, we'll be able to pick up the signal from her collar.
That's right. Yeah.
She's got a collar on her, is sending out radio signal.
It just sends out quite a low intensity beat every second.
Yeah. So when you hear them, that's the beep, 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 beep that we've heard with the dogs.
Yeah.
All right. So nothing yet. There are between 18 and 30,000 lions in Africa. However, before firearms became readily available, lions were present across Africa and the Middle East in their hundreds of thousands. There are around 500 in Wangi National Park, which is an important stronghold. With your project, you're trying to find out the impact of trophy hunting on the lions. Because you get a lot of American tourists come in, and tourists from Western Europe, to pay vast amounts of money to kill lions.
It's an important part of the sustainable use of wildlife, because there's always going to be lions that move out of the park, and you've got to do something with them. Mm-hmm. So hunting them is a good option, but they take off too many, and it's impacting the population in the park.
Why do they take so many?
Just because they've set an unrealistic quota. I think we figure there's about 550 lions in the park, and about 60 of those are adult males, and they've got 60 lions, adult male lions on quota in the areas surrounding the park. So they've virtually got the whole male population on quota, which is ridiculous.
And everybody wants to shoot an adult male lion, don't they?
That's the thing.
They want it, the big maned lion stuffed in their living room.
Exactly.
Which is a bit difficult for me to understand anyway, but that's the thing, the macho thing.
Yeah.
What you're saying, in effect, is that all of the adult males in this park are their days are numbered. They're on
pretty much. Yeah.
There's a quota set that includes them all.
Yeah, and they move over such big distances that you could have a male lion that's 60, 100 kilometers in the park, and he'll move outside. He'll move over the railway line and be shot. So you're just removing a lion from a huge area. Another male will move in there and be shot. Another male will move in there and be shot.
And how does that affect the social life of the lion?
Well, I think it has a huge impact on the lions around here. Because normally a male will associate it with a single pride of females. Here they're associating with 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 prides of females, and they're moving between them. Different males associate with the same pride. And it's just like it's a very sort of tumultuous kind of situation.
So normally, if they weren't being shot, the male would stay with one group of females.
Yeah. I think not by choice, but just because there would be other males in the area surrounding, so you'd kind of be forced to protect one pride of females. Yeah. But because the density of males is really low, they can just wander where they want.
And they go around, and do they sort of inseminate? Do they mate with?
Yeah, they mate
all those different
with all the prides of females.
Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. This is the way the story begins.
Andy has radio collared 40 lions, which involves darting a lion, and when it is fast asleep, putting the collar on, presumably very carefully. Once they are marked, he observes how the lions react when a member of their group is shot. His concern is to ensure that hunting doesn't impact too heavily on the lions. Andy has found that the social dynamics of the population in Wangi is very different to other populations. This is because the density of males is so low across the whole area. The males move between prides to mate with different groups. This means that the females and cubs are not protected by the continual presence of a male. Hyenas are more likely to kill cubs when males are absent. It may also be that the reproductive rate, the ability of the population to regenerate itself, is adversely affected by this. One of the things that lions do, the males do, is kill the young cubs, don't they, to get the females to come back into estrus so that they can breed with the females. Does that happen more when the males are all moving around and being taken out by hunters?
Well, you'd expect it would, but it's actually very difficult to collect data on infanticide. In fact, even the sort of high intensity studies in the Serengeti got very little information on that. Mm-hmm. You just kind of find that cubs disappear when new males come in. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a lot of data on that, but I expect that it is much higher. Mm. I've had a few instances of it.
So it might be that the hunting might be impacting on the population, the whole population.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I mean, lions breed very, very successfully, so given the chance they'll breed. But I'm sure it does impact their breeding and slows it down.
So is your solution to charge more per male? That's what you were saying when we started to charge more per male and kill fewer.
Yeah, I think cut the quota right down and charge ridiculous amounts of money. Because now it's not that expensive. I mean, it's kind of expensive in our terms.
How much is it?
It's about 15,000 US for a lion, and people will pay far more than that. You know, and you just need to shoot fewer lions and get them to pay 40,000-50,000 US.
Okay.
And people will pay it. And in fact, you know, it makes it even more exclusive. And people, that's what they're after.
Okay. Thanks, Andy.
Actually, this group is quite interesting because they had an instance of infanticide about 3 months ago. A coalition of 4 big males came in, killed some cubs, and they left again. And the group just split up completely. And I'd like to see who this female is with. That's true.
So
whether she's with the whole group or whether she's, you know, she could well be having cubs. She could be. I don't really know what she's doing. So
right.
So that's really why I want to find out.
You're going to check up on her.
Yeah.
She's had a bit of a rough time.
Yeah. Well, that whole group has.
Yeah. It's getting dark. Still haven't found our lion. Andy's just been listening for it.
Here we go. The beauty. Huh?
Is that your I found a lion call?
Yeah.
Over
So hang on a minute. We had a. Oh yeah.
Can you hear us?
Bit. Yeah, very faintly, but you obviously can hear. You're tuned in.
Tracked, yeah?
Tuned in now. She's maybe 200 metres, 300 metres.
100 to 200.
100 to 200 metres away. We can't see her. I'm getting a signal from all round. We're told to sit low in the vehicle. Do we have to be quiet as well?
Probably better.
Okay.
There's so much tension. It's beautiful.
Would she... why would she get agitated?
Well, if you were standing up and she could see your silhouette, she'll identify that as a, you know, as a man, as a human.
And therefore a
They don't
threat
like-
or therefore food?
Yeah, probably a threat. Yeah. And depending on, she may even have cubs if she's alone. We don't know.
Yeah.
So then you'd be a threat. And either way, she doesn't want to be around you. It's another vehicle. Andy, can I have my camera bag next to you?
Through that gap. There's a funny looking one at the back there. What's happened to her?
It's a young male on the left and a female on the right.
Oh, they're beautiful.
It's got a broken jaw.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you think that happened? When hunting?
Kicked or something.
Huh?
Zebra.
Kicked
That's
in
a
the
male.
face.
It's a young male. Look how he's struggling.
They're coming down to drink. Is there a male with them anywhere?
Only the juveniles.
So we picked up her signal, but we've now found another lion.
Well, the ones that she hangs
Another
with.
collared lion. Okay.
It's from the same group, same pride.
Okay, so have they reformed them?
Yeah.
Looks like it. That's good. So how many females in this group?
4. There
Four.
are 4 now.
4 adult females and
I think there's 1 juvenile and 3 adults.
These 2 are juveniles though.
oh, so that's why he's got this kind of shaggy mane.
The next thing I hear him getting out of the tent because the wind's coming up and he's going to check the embers of the fire on, going to burn down the bush. And he's checking with a spotlight and he can't see anything, and he comes back to it. The next morning, all around the tent, these bloody great big lion prints. Wherever you look, that lion was probably crouching behind the tent watching, what's this guy doing now? And he'd already charged us once that day, so he wasn't exactly a timid boy. Eh?
Yeah, he was just curious. He was come
But we were...
But you don't normally get scared, Andy. No?
No, as long as you're sensible, there's no reason to put yourself in a situation where you need to be scared.
So when they were just ambling towards us then, that
Yeah.
to you was totally fine?
Oh, geez, yeah.
No, it was
just-
normal behaviour.
Normal?
Yeah. And these ones are so chilled with people. They've grown up around people. They weren't even interested in us.
And they don't
Even
see
the
people as
slightest.
prey?
Not these ones anyway.
Not generally.
They're just so used to
I
people.
mean, if you jumped off the track and walked among them, it'd be pretty stupid. They'd probably go for you just out of reaction, you know. They'd probably see you as a threat and just hammer you.
I've had these ones much, much closer than that. I mean, right next to the vehicle.
But you didn't have bait on the back.
At that time.
So you found the pride
Yeah.
that our female that we were looking for was from, but you didn't actually find her yet.
No, she's in the bush across here. She's about 500 metres away from them. So she'll... Yeah, like I say, she's the one that usually hangs out by herself sometimes, and so she's inactive. She's in the thick thorny bush, and I don't know.
And
She
despite
may have some others
despite the breaking up of the pride, they seem to have regrouped and
Some of them have. There used to be 13 cubs,
right.
and I mean they're not really cubs anymore, but there's only 4 of them there.
Okay,
So what happened to the other 9? I don't know.
but still they're a bit more together than they were.
Yeah, they are.
What do you
There's another adult female that's not there as well.
Right.
So there's 2 females. The other females across the side.
So is that your next
So-
mission? Find her.
Not really. Well, she's actually got an old collar, so eventually I'm gonna have the mission to take the collar off her, and possibly replace that 44, the collar that we can only barely get a signal for. But it's not a huge priority at the moment.
What's the best thing about working with lions?
I don't know. I mean, capturing them is like hugely enjoyable. You know, and you get to handle this animal. And it's awesome to be that close to them. So I suppose that's one of the major things, really enjoyable things about it.
So we're going to have some stew, eh? That's what I like to hear. Alright.
They were still happy on the back of this one.
I might come in.
Oh, you wuss.
Okay. At least when you come face to face with a lion, you imagine living in a place where there are cats this big wandering around in the countryside, just, you know, doing their thing, ready to pounce on you if you walk in the wrong place or at the wrong time, or...
Scratching its eye.
I mean, you think about that, you know. It's kind of so easy to be blasé about it and just think, oh wow, the wildlife is so lovely, and you know, when you've been bitten by a few dogs, you start to appreciate just how serious it would be to meet a lion that was cross or that was hungry. It's no joke. I mean, you just wouldn't stand a chance. And you can see how difficult it is for these people to live alongside predators, people anywhere to live alongside predators. In Britain, we've wiped out all our predators. We killed them off. We exterminated them all centuries ago. And we don't have to think about it if we go out at night and walk in the countryside. The most dangerous thing around is humans. And they are dangerous, but here, if you walk back from the pub on a Saturday night and you're a bit drunk, you might have one of these waiting for you on the side of the road. And it happens in Victoria Falls. And it's really, as a conservationist, it's really difficult to sort of come in and say, oh, we like your lions, we think they're really cute and lovely, and you should, you know, put up with them and have them around and, you know, not kill them. What if it was your bambino? Your baby that was potentially going to be got. It's tough. Since my visit to Wangi, Andy's research has persuaded the authorities to reduce the quota by 50%. Next year, he is hoping to persuade the authorities to ban hunting for 3 years and to allow a population recovery. The point of Andy's study is to collect information about the population. Hunting, he argues, is unlikely to stop, but how can we ensure that too many lions aren't killed? There are around 53 male lions in Wangi, but currently there is a hunting quota of 60 males per year. That means that if all the quota were taken in 1 year, there would be no more lions in Wangi. If you would like to find out more about Andy's project with lions, or to help support his conservation efforts, then you can contact him at andrew.loveridge@zoo.ox.ac.uk, or you can look at the Wildlife Conservation Research Unit website at www.wildcrew.org. In the meantime, thank you for watching Wild. I'm Sasha Norris, and I'll see you next time.
Andy, they're all around us.